Welcome to Tanked Up, the podcast about video games and beer. I'm Ben. I'm here with Adel.
Hey.
And Lucy.
Hello.
Hey.
Hi.
How are you, Lucy? You good?
I'm good.
Excellent.
Surprisingly.
Good. Adel. Oh, he's got up. He's on his way. He can still hear me. Adel, how are you? You have to shout. Because you're letting the cat out.
He's got the thumbs
or
up.
in, or out.
Alright,
Or
just
in.
good.
forgot. I don't want to bother the housemates with the door slightly open. The cat's been yelling.
Fair.
I'm good. The cat's back.
We'll let you do that. We're gonna drink some beers. We're gonna talk about some video games. Lucy, I'm gonna start with you. Are you drinking this week? What you got?
Yeah,
What are you starting with?
I am starting with, and also be finishing with, but I'm starting with a beer from Weird Beard. I will go for this one. Where is it? There it is. It's called Night in Sour Armor, and it is a sour black IPA, 6.4%. It's brewed in collaboration with TriPoint. I'm not sure who they are. As we all know, because I've had their beer several times on here, they put a lot of flavour text on their beers, so I'll read a shortened version. Basically, they love black IPAs, and they've brewed it with TriPoint Brewery. Not sure where they are, but maybe somebody can consult the Googles. Let me read this. We brought together all the things we love about the style, with a complex malt bill including rye, wheat, chocolate, just black, and crystal. Okay. This was mashed as usual, then left around 40 hours to sour for an interesting twist on the style. So, it's got Simcoe in it, Sriracha Ace. Yeah, so that's interesting. So they've got Simcoe and Sriracha Ace in it. So this will be strange. It'll be I don't think I've had a sour IPA. I think we all have, but I've never had a sour black IPA.
Yeah, I don't think I have either.
So that's going to be interesting. We'll see what that's like.
When you said about TriPoint, I've just had a quick look, and they have a website, but they're a nomadic brewery. I'm just trying to find out kind of where they're... Obviously, they're a nomadic brewery, so they go about, but whether they are based somewhere as such. Whether they try and find collaborations around about, a certain area, but I don't think I can find anything. Their site basically says TriPoint Brew Co. as a concept came about through a mutual love of modern European brewing by longtime friends Pierrick and Luke. Pierrick and Luke met during their time working for Brewdog, and after many long summers at the beer festival scene and trips across Europe, the initial sparks of an idea reformed brewery taking in very best of French, Belgian and British beer culture and traditions in making something greater than the sum of its parts. It goes on and tells you a little bit about both of them as well. But yeah, I've not heard of them before, so it'd be interesting to see what they're bringing to it. I don't know whether that's going to be easy or not for you to kind of pick out, Lucy. Have you had many Weird Beard sours or even sour IPAs or
I've had
black
they do
IPAs from
kinds
them?
of they do all kinds of concoctions, but never a sour black IPA. I've definitely had sours from them and black IPAs from them, but none the two shall merge. But it's so weird just cracking open the bottle and it having that like sourness, like when you pop open the cap, because they're still bottling Weird Beard, which is cool. Maybe not cool for the environment, but cool for me.
Hey,
because I collect their bottle caps.
No,
that is
not
very
continuously forever.
No, I just throw them in the landfill in our garden.
At the back, I hope. Not the
yeah.
front.
Well, depends which is overflowing first. But yeah, just cracking it open, having that sour, like tartness, and then just pouring out as a completely dark beer that looks very much like it's stout / porter.
Good.
But yeah, just smelling the bottle now, you're definitely getting those dark and malty notes now. bit of chocolate, dark chocolate. So,
Ooh.
let's see what this is
Sounding
like.
good. Adel,
Yeah.
what are you cracking into?
I've got the Gone by Lunchtime collaboration between Utopian and Yeasty Boys.
Ooh.
So it's a 3.8% lager.
Thing.
Sorry.
Beverage of some kind.
So British malt meets New Zealand hops create the luxurious Czech 10-degree style lager. We used an uber traditional triple decoration mash and a long boil to make the 100% Pilsner malt base sing, and then threw out the rulebook and had some fun with the hop additions of the supremely smooth and fruity YET hop variety. The resulting beer is balanced, bold, and incredibly easy drinking. So hoppy lager. I thought, gotta figure out what the fuck that is.
Yep.
Have you had anything from Utopian before?
I haven't.
Okay.
Have you?
No. Again, as with TriPoint, I don't think I've heard of Utopian brewery.
No, I don't think I have. Can I have a
Okay.
look at the can? No. Looks like
Yeah.
something familiar, but no, I don't think it's Utopian. I'm
Is
thinking
it
of.
backwards for you?
Nah.
No.
That is. What?
Mirrors
What
are
go on?
strange things.
I know.
Lights and how it bends and refracts and reflects.
How things record, isn't it? So people can see what.
It's
the people
light,
can
Ben. I was trying to be
see.
more
Alright.
existential. This is the philosophy
Somewhere,
podcast,
some
remember?
asshole.
I'll let it shine off my head towards you, just so I hide a little. Right, I am going to crack open a beer that Lucy very kindly brought down for me. I think I have had it on the podcast before. Lucy said a few weeks ago that she wasn't going to drink for a week because this is the only thing she had in. But it is Deya Steady Rolling Man. It's the canned version, which I haven't had for a long time. The last time I had it was on tap in Bottles and Books, because they get it in quite regularly to have it on tap. But for those of you who don't know, but come on, you absolutely do. Deya Steady Rolling Man is pale ale, 5.2%. I will read what's on the back. Steady Rolling Man, our pale ale, inspired by the ridiculously tasty hoppy beers we fell for. We got brewing our own versions, over and over again, while listening to the blues greats. The heady concoction of old-time blues records and juicy American hops transfixed us from the start, and the Steady Rolling Man was born in these sessions. Incredibly soft and delicate with intense tropical fruit hop aromatics and saturation. This is our vision of the perfect pale ale. I think that's probably true for a lot of people as well, isn't it, really?
Yeah. It was kind of perfect. No? It's the one, desert island beer.
Yeah.
Sure.
This one has been... what does CO stand for? I mean, it's a date in the past, and the
Canned
third...
on?
Canned on, yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder what bottles have, if they do have a bottle. Probably just
B-O.
B-O.
Body O.
So this was on the 3rd of January.
Yeah.
And Deya say that you should drink it within 3 months. It goes out of date,
Wow.
or best before the 3rd of April.
It doesn't really last 3 hours
2020.
usually, so... The only reason that it lasted that long is because I didn't drink the whole of January. So,
Yes, that's very true. Yes. Let's get cracking into these. Lucy, how's the Weird Beer Club?
There's a lot going on. A lot. But it's a lot that I like. Certainly at the very start of taste, it definitely leans more into the sour. You're getting, a bit of sourness, it's not overwhelmingly sour because obviously they want to marry the sourness with, the hoppiness that you get from an IPA and, the maltiness and smoothness from a stout. So it's not overwhelmingly tart at the start, but you're definitely getting a lightness at the very beginning. yeah, straight off the bat, it's like, oh, you're drinking a sour. Your brain's like, oh, yeah, I'm drinking a sour. And then you're getting a little bit of hoppiness, and then I guess you're starting to taste like fruity notes, which I'm guessing is from the Simcoe. And then after quite a long time, well, in terms of taste terms, like a few seconds, it's like you start to taste that chocolate, that malt, and your brain starts like, is this now a porter? And it's so it's going through the gauntlet with this, but I mean, some people might find this confused and muddled, and I would completely respect that and understand that. For me, it's just I mean, the name's on the bottle. It's a weird beer. It's like, this is a weird beer.
Right.
And I appreciate that, because even though it's got so much thrown into it, and you're getting that, like, I can taste the sriracha base as well, like a bit of lemongrass, which is mixed in at the end with the. But yeah, it's. Sorry, you started smiling as I came back. It put me off. But yeah, there's a lot going on, but it's a lot that I actually like and appreciate. So it's a weird experiment, and it works.
Good.
Excellent. Yeah, everything's pleasant about it. It's not like, oh, this is a very puckeringly tart sour that's a bit overwhelming, or oh, the dark malts are not coming through enough, or it's just like, it just feels a bit like lackluster in that sense. It's like, no, everything is showcased and like comes to the forefront at some point in the taste.
Yep.
So you are getting all those different flavors, but it's really light. I mean, looking at it, it looks like a stout. And stouts are very smooth, but it's more portery rather than like full on imperial stout. You're getting more maltiness rather than just all chocolate.
Right.
From those nice dark malts. So yeah, it's really good.
Good.
Very impressed what they managed to do here.
Adel, you've got a collaboration beer as well. How's that?
Yeah.
And again, a sort of not quite new styles being smashed together, but something slightly different, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it's like, what if we did a hoppy lager, I suppose. It has almost no nose. It just smells like a very clean lager. Like crispiness.
Looks like a lager in that head.
Yeah, it looks like a clear as day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Lovely.
That's super interesting. It starts like a lager. It's got the mouthfeel of a lager. Taste is a little bit lagery, and then those hops come quite quickly. Did it say which hops they were? It did not. Oh yeah, it was the YEET New Zealand fruity hop, right? It's a little dank. Not too citrusy.
Maybe what I expect from my lagers. Dankiness.
It's real interesting.
Yeah.
The finish is like much more like a well-hopped pale ale. You have not as much maltiness maybe, but you just have this sort of lingering hoppiness, and then it's outpacing any sort of normal lager finish, which again is usually quite light. It's got an almost light berryness and somewhere in the middle of that dank bitter.
It's from the hops.
Yeah, presumably. Yeah. I really like it, but it's very strange.
It'll take some while to process.
Yeah, so I'm either going to be taking a lot of short sips to try and figure it out, or it's going to be gone in 50 seconds. I said that because I didn't want to get in copyright problems.
Nick Cage is gonna burst through the door.
Yeah.
Like my best movie. How dare you?
Oh, such a good movie.
It's-
I also take a
Yes, you do that. I'll talk about my beer whilst you're doing that. Unless you have any further thoughts. I imagine you're moving on. She's taking a photo. Steady rolling, man. I mean, we have talked about this beer before. It's what I forget is that it's got such a light nose, and it's actually quite a delicate nose. But you get everything in there still. You're getting a lot of sort of sweet fruits, a lot of tropical fruits on that nose, and then in the flavour, it's just lovely.
Yeah. There's really
Everything.
not much more to say about it.
I mean, no, and it's,
I don't think we do usually. It's like, yeah, this is perfect. Move on.
with the Deya, I normally find, and especially with this, that everything kind of happens at once. You don't have that, that rolling sort of flavour profile where something moves into something else, where it moves into something else. This just kind of gives you everything, and everything is balanced really, really well. And it lasts as well. It's got such a long finish to it. And it retains everything still. Nothing fades too quickly. Nothing overpowers anything else. It just all moves through very, very nicely. You've got a little bit of sweeter tropical fruit in there, a little bit of citrus going on, a slight bitterness in there as well, and it all kind of just moves and chugs along really nicely. And one of the joys as well is it's a 500ml can, and it just keeps going and going and going. I think I've
keep steady rolling.
Exactly. I think I've swigged this several times and re-poured, and I've only just got the last bit out of the can. And we know that this is going to be the same right at the end as it was at the beginning as well. The quality and the flavour stays there all through the can. If it doesn't, I'll tell you. But we could probably move on to talk about different things as I sit back and enjoy this. Lucy, why don't we start with you this week?
I haven't really been playing anything, to be honest. I had a really prolific January where I played a lot of games, and I'd say that extended into first week of February, maybe. But this last week I haven't really played anything. Apart from, I don't know, Sushi Time on the Nintendo Switch.
Okay.
Which is just, it's basically, if you're not into the very stressful, systems-heavy cooking simulation game, like maybe Cook Serve Delicious or even Cookie Mama, you play, you dig through the Nintendo eShop for a while and despair, and then you're like, oh, but this cooking game is 100% off, as opposed to the $5.99 or something like that they would have charged.
Hang on, wait a minute.
Did you say 100%?
100% off.
Yeah, I think that it's like the Wild West in the eShop. I think what a lot of publishers do that publish just like, I don't want to call any games trash, but like ostensibly trash, just from like mobile and
like clickers,
marketplaces,
and, sort of,
and it's a shame because some of them are okay, and but what they do is that they just put them on at like a really disgustingly high price, like $10.99 for something that's either free on mobile or it's like you can get this for much cheaper, like $1.99 on mobile. I don't know what the reason or economics is behind that, and then they just put them on sale for like 90% off just to intrigue people and like, wow, this is a saving, this is a bargain, let me buy this. And it just seems weird, but this published, I think they were called Baltoro Games, and if you went to their website, I'm sure the weird, eccentric, like mobile developed platform. I just had this on my wish list because I love those mindless cooking games, and this developers obviously hired a psychologist sounding dings and cash register sounds when you make a sale. And it's like really just low level, mindless clicker games, as you said, Ben. And it's just like, oh, I'll play this, and because it was 100% off, and it's like, I speed ran that game over a weekend or something. It's just like, nothing's really changed. You're unlocking new recipes, but it is just really just clicking the same 3 buttons over and over again. And that's Sushi Time, and I think they have Burger Time, which I have my eye on. That's not quite 100% off. I think that's like 70, but I'm not paying for that game, so yeah, that's what I played.
I suppose as well, if Burger Time is just a palette swap.
It's not Burger Time, because that's actually a good game.
Yes, yeah.
Did I tell you that I played through the whole Super Burger Time like a few weeks ago? I was like
No.
twice, like through it's not that long. It's like half an hour tops to get through that game, with obviously unlimited retries, and continues. I did all right though. I didn't need that many, but anyway, that's Burger Time. I think this is Burger Tycoon. So sorry.
Right. Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. I know you do kind of delve into like lots of different games, and you're always on the lookout for kind of different smaller experiences. Do you play many of these sorts of things?
Oh, what, like Burger Tycoon?
Yeah.
No. It's only when it's like, every once in a while I get that itch. It's like, should I just dig around the App Store?
Right.
And find a game that's like Hello Kitty's beauty salon, just because I need something absolutely mindless to play. It's just like, it was on the Switch eShop for, as I say, in my wish list for 100% off. I was like, download this and try it, and then that's how that came about.
Fair enough.
But I still see it as a good use of my time. Making sushi.
Nice.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, but other than
absolutely.
that, no, there's a few. There'll be a few games that I can talk about next week, or in a few weeks. I think most of the games that I'm looking to play will be under embargo until the end of February, start of March. So, yeah. But I guess I started The Witcher. It's fine. I'll talk more of it.
Yes.
It's like I'm maybe 10 hours at most into it, so I don't think I can as confident. You know what, who cares? It's from 2015. Everyone's got opinions about it at this point. It's alright. You
did share earlier about the cross save from GOG coming over to Switch.
GOG and I think Windows. I don't know if it's on Steam.
Did you? Are you playing? Where are you playing this?
Xbox.
Okay.
Yeah, but I think that's really neat what they've done with Switch cross save.
Yeah.
I think if it was it should have been available at launch for me.
Yeah, I completely agree. For a game that old, which people and a game that large, which you can find a lot of people would very easily put down and not think about kind of coming back to it for a while. To suddenly go, this is on Switch. I game on there more than anywhere else. I've started The Witcher. I'd really like to get back into it. I'll pick it up on there. Absolutely, for them to jump back in where they left off, and that might be a little bit difficult if they haven't played for the last 4 years to kind of pick back up where they left off. But even with its not awkward control scheme, but just slightly different kind of control scheme and systems, and kind of trying to get your head back around it, shouldn't take a huge amount of time to kind of get back into it. But I completely agree that as a feature for when they released on Switch should have been there, absolutely.
Yeah, because I imagine most of the people who bought The Witcher 3 on Switch were double dippers, so I imagine a lot of people owned and played, as you say, if not a portion, all of that game. I mean, at least it's there now.
Yeah.
I didn't really read into it too much because I know Nintendo are weird. I don't know if it was one of those, oh yeah, you can do it from PC to Switch, but then you can't do it back or not. So I'm not sure if it's as robust a system as people would like. I'd have to look into that a bit more. But
Yeah.
yeah, it'd be nice if I could like. I'm playing it on Xbox. I wonder if it's on. I don't think it's on. It's definitely on Game Pass. I'm not sure if it's on PC Game Pass. Because maybe then that would allow you to cross-save. But I just can't wait for the day where it's like, yeah, you own a game on whatever system. You own a PC? Cool, go play it on there. You own a Switch? Cool, play it on there. PS4, Xbox, Booyah, go play it on there. But we're just not there yet. Which is
I mean, even in the just on PC, not like Steam Cloud Save has been around forever, so even just if you float it between two computers, it's theoretically possible, but it's still not used by all the developers. And what I do is a really proper PC janky thing, which is I have Game Save Manager, which syncs everything to my OneDrive, and all my PCs have access to my OneDrive, and it just
that's very useful.
Oh yeah, but the problem is, any game I've ever played, Game Save Manager keeps the save, and so now my OneDrive is just full of fucking save games of games I'm never gonna play.
Can't you keep a... Does it duplicate where you can just have one locally and one in the cloud, or...
Well, the point is, it's where, so, the way OneDrive works in Windows 10, you can say sync this folder. So
so it's just in one folder.
So all the PCs I own would have, like even my Mac, when I boot into Windows, it automatically resyncs, and so all those things would drop down.
Can't you just delete them?
Yeah, that's what I have to do. I'm just lazy.
To be fair, you haven't got the same as 95% of the population. You haven't got anything else in your OneDrive, have you? No.
I have a few things, but
I have some shortcuts.
It's very useful. It's like one of those tools where it's like, yeah, this is very useful. Or anything like that, Dropbox, but I just use OneDrive because it's like, yep. I'm very much embedded in the PC ecosystem. I rejoice that, because being stuck in that Apple one is like being in hell. Yeah. It's like being in purgatory most of the time.
When this laptop finally dies, I'm going to have to deal with being on Windows again, I think.
Deal with? That's the wrong terminology.
I like
Embrace.
having a terminal.
I was there once, sir. It's not a good place to be.
Well, the problem is the flexibility of OS X is mostly now taken away because you can't do a bunch of things you used to. For the past few OS iterations, they've made it harder for you to be able to do whatever you want.
Yeah, and it was never that
stuff. And then,
easy anyway, but yeah. PC problems, Mac problems. But yeah, The Witcher, it's a bit clunky, not really there for the combat. I'm glad I can just put it on easy and not really focus on any of that.
Right.
I think it's a testament to the game that I'm putting up with it, because it's very much not my kind of game, like, at all. Down to the setting and the style of game, it being an RPG, because I just find RPGs a lot of busy work. Any RPG I've played, I've just thought, why couldn't this just be a linear adventure game? And I would have had just as much, if not more, fun with it. But that's just me. I know a lot of people think that's blasphemy, because RPGs are the holy grail. And I get it, but not my style of game. But I'm there for the story and the writing,
which is very
both
good.
Excellent. Yeah, they're excellent. They're top of the class. But so yeah, I think it's a testament to how good those things are that I'm willing to put up with other things that they've done that for many games, like Red Dead, like Wolfenstein: The New Order. The New Colossus.
The New Colossus, yeah.
Yeah, the second one in the rebooted series, which I didn't think played nearly as well. I think the level design was so muddy and just bad in the second game, and yeah, like Mafia 3, I was thinking about that. It's like that was just that combat and was just so rote and just repetitive, but the story was fantastic. So when the story's good enough, I'm willing to put up with just not great gameplay, and I don't think Witcher has. I think it's okay for me. I think good for others, but yeah, I don't think it's top of the range by any.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I am someone who absolutely loves The Witcher 3. It was, what was it, number 2 in my games of the decade list.
Okay.
And I think you're right though in that you, the same with like a lot of Bethesda games, you kind of put up with some elements because others are, you know, outstanding. And with The Witcher, the story, the characters, the world building, a lot of that is just phenomenal. Even things like quest structures, the way they poke fun at sort of like rote systems, and that sort of stuff. But yes, there are elements where the combat isn't.
It's not why I come to the game. I can see why people get enjoyment out of it. It just doesn't feel great for me.
Yeah,
it feels very much like a. I don't know how much of this is a slight in my eyes. Like comparative to like a Ubisoft game, how it plays. Like, I really don't like how those games feel. I know a lot of people do. I just don't like how they feel, like some of the newer ones, and everything just feels too slow for what it wants to do. For me, but. Maybe I'll give it some more time, see if the combat starts to grow on me. Right now I'm just like, let me just fireball this stupid witch and hack it to death very quickly. So I see where the story's going, because I don't care. It's like, yes, you know, you have this really interesting, you know, quest line. It's like, okay, now I have to fight 6 ghouls, because it's a video game. I just want to be the ultimate Witcher, snap my fingers and they all die, so I don't have to do it. It's like, cool, thank you.
Just all blast them off the cliff, they're gone, rather than just knocking them back 1 foot. Yeah.
I'm very much an edge case in this respect, because yes, people actually want to play a game as well as experience the story and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, no game is perfect. I can't think of a game even that I love and adore that I don't have massive criticism about, but that's what you do when you really like a game. You criticise it, so
yeah, absolutely.
You want it to be better. You want potential sequel to be better. So yeah, it's trash. Carry on.
Let's move on then from The Witcher 3. I'm going to jump into something I wanted to talk about this week, because I don't think our discussion on it's going to be too long, but it's kind of something I think which is probably on people's minds, and a lot of people won't have heard of this, but all of us have got to play Dreams.
Well, we tried. We really tried.
I think I was asleep at that point, wasn't I?
Yes.
People may hear more about my thoughts on Dreams initially in our next episode, which is episode 200. You will have probably seen, if you follow us on social media, that we got together last weekend and did some recording for episode 200, toured around Bristol, and I talked a little bit about Dreams. But what I wanted to bring up today is. I saw an article which referenced an interview with Mark Healy, who is one of the co-founders of Media Molecule, and the interview is with a website called videogameschronicle.com, and I've not heard of them before, but the interview was posted on the 15th of February, and it's something I haven't seen sort of talked about very much, but currently all of Dreams and everything on there is free. So you buy the game and you get to experience everything that people have created. But as part of this interview, the question was asked was, you've previously described rewarding users for their creations as an obvious ambition. Do you have any update on whether users might be able to monetize their content or otherwise be rewarded for it? And he said, we're going through the motions at the moment of working out with Sony how we can do that. That's about as much as I know about it. Okay, yeah, sorry, it's an interview, so it is going to read as he was sort of chatting. That's about as much as I know about it, really, to be honest with you, because it involves talking to lawyers and things. I have a tendency to fall asleep as soon as I start talking to lawyers, but it's no lesser an ambition. One of the obvious things, I think, this is a slight update, if you like, one of the obvious things that I think we should do as a no-brainer is handpick some of the content that's brilliant and go through the motions of taking it out as a standalone product and putting it on the PSN store. It would make a fantastic story, and seeing how the community has developed over such a short period of time, there's already stuff in there that's close to PSN worthy, I think. So at the very least will happen, I'm sure. I'll make that happen. But yeah, the ultimate aim is for people to be able to monetize their stuff somehow, but it's a delicate balance. And he goes on later.
I was thinking around a completely different route where what you're saying makes sense, and I should have thought of it. I was like, license the tool out to other developers and make money that way.
Yeah.
But yeah, this seems like the very good for the community kind of things. I was thinking bigger picture, cha-ching, license it like Unity or Unreal. But yeah, they need to work out. They need to talk to those lawyers quite a lot, because someone puts up that Fallout game that we saw in a deal store. It's like, well, Dreams and just Sony will be burnt to the ground.
That thing looked Fallout-y. I can say
it looked
that.
Fallout. Yeah, it ran at like 2 frames per second. But yeah, it looked. Yeah, it was very Fallout-y. Well, I guess. Well, depending on your Fallout.
That sounds like Fallout.
Yeah.
Fallout pastiche.
Yeah, it was a very accurate recreation and quite impressive, but yeah, they need to sort that out, because I think it's great at the moment that it's just like a Wild West where I can make Sonic the Hedgehog and Mario fanfic in like Dreams or something like that. Oof, as a logistics point of view, I imagine Sony are just like, what are we gonna do? I can imagine like Media Molecule, all the creators like, oh, this is great, look at this, and Sony just tearing their hair out in the back.
Yeah.
As the responsible parents just thinking, oh god,
yeah,
what do we let the kids do?
Yeah,
painting over the walls now.
I think, as he says, it's a very, very difficult balance to kind of get. I mean, obviously, everything on there is free at the moment for you to experience, but also for you to use. So suddenly, we also not
need to buy the game.
Well, sorry. So yeah, you need to buy the game to be able to play those games and to be able to create the whatever you can create with it. I think
just individual content is not gated behind.
Yes, yeah. There's going to be a very, very grey area where someone may have made something that's then been used in an experience. And how is that person, is every single creator benefiting from this monetization? How would that all be split? I can see why this is kind of what they're thinking, and I don't think it is a bad idea. I think that, yes, I can absolutely see, if you got a 6-hour experience that was really good and made very, very well. And as you said at the start, Lucy, of this bit, seeing how they could, farm it out to other developers and things, that is this, but just on a much smaller kind of scale, giving it to access to people to be able to kind of do that, and anyone can utilize that and use it, but it makes sense for this to kind of be a little bit of the evolution. But yeah, I would worry that it would just get so grey that you've made this rock formation that has been used 40,000 times.
Yeah, but I'm sure it's going to be just kind of like things are with Unity, right? There'll be assets that you allow to be used for free.
Yeah.
Or people buy them for a small charge. And if the default license would probably be something like, it's free for anyone to remix, unless you choose not to. And then when someone chooses to flick the monetization switch, there's like, hey, did you know some of the assets involved you can't use?
Yeah,
but does it
I
just become like an asset store?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, exactly. That's
I don't
basically
think,
my
but
worry.
yeah, but that you couldn't have that on via Sony, like via PlayStation, because yes, you could, as you said, like put up individual complete packages on
The store.
like the store, and then they work out, okay, here are the creators, here are the assets,
Yeah.
divvy that up. But in terms of your assets in Dreams, you know, we're paying individuals out of a complete marketplace within Dreams, which is within a play. Yeah, I don't see that.
I think it's kind of worse
Just
than
make
that.
it like Steam Marketplace.
Yeah,
Do it like that.
I mean,
Get
I get
people
that there's
selling
cool things, but I think they
cards.
should just sell more copies of Dreams. Like, I kind of like that it's this weird place where people fuck about, and the point is it's not going to go anywhere else. As soon as you start thinking, oh, some of this stuff is worth selling, some of this stuff is worth us selling and getting a cut out of it. And then you're just, instead of a really interesting place where people fuck about, where money
don't you
isn't
think that's
is popularity, is people are now going to try and make money off of it. I want
don't
to
you
be
think
on the
that's
list
so
of the
limited
3
though?
dreams that get published this week.
Like this seems like such a great creation suite from what people have said and everything like that, and coming from people like, you know, who actually make games. Isn't it kind of sad if it just dies on the vine, like where it's just in the PlayStation ecosystem? And yeah, it's like, you know, exclusives don't do as well as obviously multi-platform games and stuff like that. So I don't know. It's a weird one. I mean, it's a weird one. I think Media Molecule have complicated it by making such a good creation suite. It was just like, I'm sure there was this Microsoft one, which might have come out. Was it Project Spark or something? I'm sure they wanted to monetize that, where you used to get like coins, like in-game coins, and there was like a marketplace with that or something like that.
Oh, I think I do remember this.
Yeah, and that
And
died a quick death. So it's like I wouldn't want to see that for Dreams as well.
Well, you kind of have to try and consider the other side, and I don't know whether it was just because of who he is, but Kojima built Death Stranding on Decima, which was Guerrilla Games' engine that they had made for Horizon Zero Dawn. And basically Sony, I don't know, they grabbed Kojima when they could and toured him around all the studios and said, look, whatever you want, you can have.
Right.
Make a game for us. And I don't know whether Decima and the other kind of engines that are made internally within these studios in Sony are available to be able to purchase. But does Dreams just kind of become that? It's a very specific, very slightly simpler kind of tool to use as an engine to make things for people. Or as you say, Lucy, do they just keep it within their ecosystem and only allow it to be a very limited kind of element? People make a load of stuff for free. That is how it happens. But actually, maybe 6 or 12 times a year or something, maybe once a month, one creation gets put up on PSN for £6 or something like that, and they have worked out with everyone who has been involved in it some kind of monetization behind that.
I'd see that as being the only way of doing it, or just having it as paid DLC and compensating those creators. Just saying, yeah, that's the only way I see that happening. It was Project Spark, and just going on the Wikipedia page, I just like remember this and what an absolute dog's dinner they made of it. But that was Microsoft in like the
Project
bad
Spark
days.
was the assets and stuff were based on purchasing DLC packs.
Yeah, that was weird. And then they made it free to play after that.
Packs.
I think I still
basically the free mode was like their shitty story, and then if you wanted to do other stuff, you had to start buying from them.
And I think that's maybe where Media Molecule have looked as as the basic business model and gone, we cannot do that. Let us, we have created something, or we've created several things within this. but we're also allowing everyone to just do everything for free straight off the bat, get people involved, get them invested, and then look to do something a little bit later. But they've got to get that right. They really have, because if they don't, it will just die.
Yeah, but definitely it's not as ill-conceived as Project Spark by a mile, you know. Man, it's been a long generation. Remember that, Microsoft? Oof.
Yeah,
I couldn't get anything right. Oof. Oof.
What was Project Spark? 5 or 6 years ago?
2013.
It related to
7 years ago.
2016.
Yeah, 2015 was when they were rolling out what kind of pay model it'll be. Yeah. So it's funny how things can change, eh? I mean, look at
absolutely.
the Wii U. That was the thing.
This generation as well.
Well, yeah. Well,
Yes.
when you think about it, this, you know, the Wii U was dying a very tragic death only in 2016. So.
Yeah.
Oof.
Oh, it does feel like it's been a long generation. Absolutely.
It has. It was. I mean, the one before was long, because that was what, 8 years. That was 8 years.
7 or 8 years. Yeah.
This has been 7 years. 7 years. So it's a long time in gaming. A lot of things happen.
Yeah, they do. Should we open some more beers?
Yeah.
Please.
Good. Right, Lucy. What are you having?
Having another beer from Weird. As soon as I find it, there it is. And it's called Mutiny on the Bunty, and it's a coconut stout. 5.7%. Let's have a look. With a luxurious grain bill, including oats, wheat, crystal, and all the dark roasty goodness you would expect. Hopped with Pearl and Sriracha Ace, which always match amazingly well with stouts and coconut, for that matter. So another beer of Sriracha Ace, 2 in a row. Then lashings
They
of
obviously
coconut.
brought a lot of it.
Yeah, they're like, what are we going to do with this? I will just put it in every beer we brew for the next 6 months. Okay, then lashings of toasted coconut and a little vanilla to add to that Moorish layer of complexity. This beer is not the sweet artificial coconut porter you often see, good, but its darker, more bitter, distant cousin.
Nice.
Trust you, Weird Beard. They always come through.
Do Weirdbeard still do a different skull on the front for every beer?
Sadly, I only find a few beers nowadays which actually have a print on them, on the cap.
Yeah.
Certainly, but because they've gone to like just plain black bottle caps on a lot of their beers now. But yeah, this guy on the front of the bottle, he's got like a pirate, Davy Jones purple hat on. Yeah, very good.
Nice.
Yeah.
You crack that one. Adol, looks like you've got a bottle in front of you as well.
I do. It's a bottle you should recognize.
Ah, yes.
I see that before, right?
Yeah, it's the bottle we picked up at the bottle shop that we didn't get to, partly because someone was sleeping.
Not naming names. But they were a very sleepy boy.
What is it? What is it for those people listening?
It's an Abbey Ale. It's a St Bernardus ABT 12. So it's a Belgian Trappist, and it says Belgian things, and it is some strong. I'm assuming it's 12%, but I don't actually. Oh, it's 10%. It's 10%.
Cool.
proper
Trappist. Wow, what happened there? Take a picture of that. That looks.
Yeah, I think it's because I knocked it over earlier, about 20 minutes
Look how
ago.
big those bubbles are.
For people listening, the head on Lucy's
like a
beer is the
honeycomb.
whole glass. Yeah, it's like honeycomb. Yeah.
It's kind of amazing.
I think it's because I dropped it earlier.
Yeah, fair enough. You have to give it some time. Also, Adel, you coming through a lot louder and a lot clearer, sat so close to the microphone. You're gonna have to stay upright, I'm afraid.
Oh, was I quiet?
A little quiet when you're back. A little quiet.
You're lounging. No place for
now.
slackers here.
Right.
No.
No, that's better. That's much better.
Lucy, you rubbed off on me. What is this?
Well, we'll drink these in half an hour. It's going to be
minutes,
extra, half an hour.
I don't think. Well, let's see whether mine is like it. My beer has no label. It's a mystery beer. Lucy, you brought this up from Burning Soul.
Yeah. It's actually just cola and a peppermint at the bottom of it, so yours will look like ours. But yes, they were very gracious to give me throwing a free bottle from me. So on my last visit,
I mean,
where I had a growler filled with Mosaic Idaho IPA, and gosh, I tell you, it was very good. I was getting like flashbacks from Steady Rolling Man. I was just like, this is a very good beer. They make some really good beers over there. So.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it would be nice. I think we visited them 2 years ago now.
Yeah, we can go there this year.
Yeah,
certainly.
I think we should head over there this year again. Mystery bottle has come through as, I haven't quite smelt it yet, but it is either a porter or a stout.
It might be the coconut porter.
Smells
Which would put us
like
in perfect sync.
Would, absolutely. Ooh, it's poured a lot better though. There's no crazy shaking up going on with this one.
You know what? I would dive into like a jacuzzi with this. Just like this froth. It's very
Yeah, I mean,
good.
mine's the most disappointing because yours has got this like thickness. Mine is just clearly, I guess, thickish. But...
Yeah.
We'll get there. Yeah, it might need
Nice.
a bit longer.
Have you managed to get any out of it yet, Lucy, or is it still
No
head
in
in
it.
hand? All right, I shall drink mine then. I shall go for a little swig of mine. It does have a very sweet nose on it. It is it's so dark. It is just pure black. The head on it is a little whiter. There's a brownness to it, but it's a little lighter than you get on stouts. But yeah, lovely sweet nose. Yeah, that's absolutely like a coconut porter.
Yeah. Okay. I think theirs is about like 7.1. I'll double check.
Yeah.
7.1.
But it's very, very sweet. A little bit of viscosity to it. Not too much.
It does,
but it has got a little bit of viscosity.
Because that's what I like about that beer. Like, it's not as light as most other porters. Yeah, I don't know if that's like, you're getting that sweetness contributes to that like kind of mouthfeel, or I don't know if they put any like oats in it like this beer has, or anything just to thicken it up a bit. But yeah, it balances that nice line between not being like a heavy imperial stout and not being a really light, like watery porter.
Yeah,
so.
Right.
Yeah, it's definitely got that viscousness that I could imagine that there are oats or something like that in there just to thicken it up. That sweetness that lasts quite well. There is that very, very light element on the back end of a few little roasted, slightly almost, I don't know whether again it's the sweetness, but slightly burnt notes. So whether it's that sweetness combined with some more darker sort of roasted notes, is kind of caramelizing or something like that a little bit, but it starts to feel a little bit kind of slightly bitter, a little burnt towards the back end. But that works quite well for it because that is super short. That sweetness is nice and long, and then suddenly that kicks in and kind of fades away quite quickly. And the sweetness comes back through in the aftertaste.
It's 7%, and I think we're geniuses, Ben. And I planned this all along. Because it says that it does have Sriracha Ace in it. So,
oh, really?
just like
okay.
mine, yeah. I'm a genius. Plan it all.
Some Sriracha Ace circulating around the Black Country at the moment.
Yeah, everyone bought too much Sriracha Ace.
There's some
like,
rep up there just rubbing his hands together in there. Just...
It's like, this contract is very cheap this year. Ordered 600 kilograms of that.
Right, it looks like you can get a little bit of that now, Lucy. How's yours?
Just smelling it, it smells. You're definitely getting Sriracha Ace on the smell. Just like really light lemongrass, like grassy, slightly herbal smell to it. Herbal space program.
Oh, that'd be a good mashup for things, wouldn't it?
Weed in space.
That's a bit more like pigs in space, I think. But
taste-wise, it's quite subtle. It's quite light. Trying to see if I can get any of those like dark malts.
Wonder whether it's the Sriracha Ace just keeping things away from it, going more towards those darker sort of notes.
Yeah, I think it's yeah, I'm getting them slightly. Funnily enough, I think I was getting them more in the sour black IPA than I am here. Maybe because they wanted to go, because, well, it says a coconut stout, so I mean, it's a nice beer. It's more similar than I would have thought to the other beer at the same time, because you are getting that hoppiness. You're not getting really much fruit. You are just getting really more those herbs and like lemongrass rather than any fruitiness. I mean, the other one did have Simcoe in it, so that's probably why. But yeah, I'm trying to discern the coconut. I'm gonna let it sit for a while, maybe pour out what's. It's quite still a lot left in the bottle, so maybe get some of that yeast at the bottom. But it's nice. Don't get me wrong, but it's not picking up on that coconut as much, and getting more and more. It's a very slow burn, like the last one. Like not everything shows itself immediately. A lot of Sriracha Ace on the aroma at the start of the taste, but then the lingering aftertaste is more that not really chocolate, but just there's more stout-like qualities, but it's not too bitter. It's slightly bitter, but it's not too bitter. But yeah, I'm gonna see if I can search around for that coconut a bit more.
Nice. And Adel, will come to you. How's the head on yours? That's good. That's gone down. Oh, that's super dark as well.
Right, this is a dark fucking beer. It's like, I guess, I don't know if you can tell, but if I put it right near the light, you could start to see that it's brown, not black. But it is. Oh, it's got a lovely, sweet, malty nose. Not too strong, but definitely there. Oh, that's a beer.
What was it? You said 10%.
10%. Yeah. And you can kind of notice it right at the back end. It's a little bit of an alcoholic finish, but it's really smooth.
Was it you or Lucy who had a triple last week?
It was
one of you did.
It was.
I'm glad none of us remember.
Yeah. What
That's fine.
I remember picking it up.
I've had a triple recent. I know. Yeah.
Because we looked it up, didn't we? We had to look it up to see what made it a triple. Because actually the percentage on it was quite low, I think, on the previous one.
Yeah.
Oh, was it the Yonder one? Was that a triple?
Oh yes, it was.
Yonder,
yes, the Yonder one was.
Yes, it was. Yeah, I don't even. It wasn't even that strong, was it? It wasn't like 7-8%. That's probably why I don't remember it as a triple. I was thinking about that beer today, though. That's good.
Yeah, it just made me think about it when Adel said about noticing the 10% on this.
Yeah.
Oh, it's got a lovely. It's a really well balanced beer with respect to like bitter and sweet. It ends with a little bit of a dry mouthfeel, but that's also sort of when the bitter ends, so there's just a little bit of the alcoholic sweetness, but it's actually, I thought it might have a longer finish. It doesn't seem to, although it's got a really robust sort of caramelly toffee core with some like plummy, raisiny sort of heavier fruit notes in the beginning. And it's just so smooth. I mean, yeah, it's a Trappist monk-made Belgian beer.
Yeah.
It'd be real good and real smooth. Actually, I kind of like that it doesn't have a long finish, but that's mostly because that means I get to have another sip sooner.
That's fair.
Yeah, I'm actually like I'm thinking like something similar like the West Mall. They're 10%. Is a little more malty and has more length. This is actually, I mean, it's obviously still a very malty beer, but for it's this class of beer, it's actually quite reserved in that sense.
Okay.
It's exceedingly drinkable.
Nice.
While not being simple, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, I bought this from the Beer Emporium.
Yeah.
Very affable chap, Aaron.
Yeah.
Hosted
Super
us.
knowledgeable.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I would live in there before those beers. Just need a shut in.
It's been so long since I'd been there. I didn't realize that the bottle shop was pure Belgian and quite some time.
All those lambics and doubles and triples. It's great.
Yeah.
But yeah, going back to my beer, now that everything's settled down, I am getting more of those dark malts and more of those stout-like qualities, but texture-wise and mouthfeel-wise, it very much feels like an IPA, which is strange, because it's like, yes, I'd expect this from the first one, but maybe not a coconut stout, but right. I think that's a lot in part due to just like, yeah, it's very hoppy, and the Sriracha Ace is leaning over to that lighter side, but even though it's like, yeah, if I wanted something more coconut forward, I would very much go for Ben's beer from Burning Soul. Right. It's still great, you know. It's like they make just weird beer, just make such good beers.
Yeah.
Even if the experiment doesn't always follow through in terms of what they're trying to do, what they said on the bottle. It still tastes good. It's never a disaster. So, yeah, that's good.
Nice. So we'll enjoy these. I'll let Adel take this picture before I jump to him.
Oh, yeah. What am I supposed to be doing? Some sort of topic?
Whatever you want. Whatever you like.
So
I don't know how I actually fucking just so ingrained in my brain from hearing it so many times. Like.
I had a small thing news and then just update / the woes of gaming and hardware. Let's start with a small update because it's more interesting. And if we talk enough about it, I could just be like, I built a PC, let's move on. Oh shit, I already said it, now we gotta move on. I didn't even build it. I put hard drive in thing and figured out BIOS because the rest just was donated by Ben as old box. Oh, by the way, do you need your... This is totally off the rails now. Do you need your driver CD for your Brother all-in-one multifunction? Because it was still in the CD-ROM drive.
Oh, it's probably been in that CD-ROM drive for the last 5 years. No, I don't. Do with that as you wish.
Yeah.
Use it as a coaster. Hang it from your window.
Your Christmas tree.
Why do the microwave trick? You ever do that when you were young?
No, because I was not crazy. Because
you put it in for a few seconds, and as soon as the metal reacts with the microwaves, you get a flash, and there's a really cool pattern on the CD. And as soon as that happens, you hit stop, because otherwise the plastic starts to melt.
Yeah, trust me, I was tempted, but I was never ever gonna do that. So.
It's Google microwave CDs to see how cool the patterns were, and think of burnable CDs being different colors of blue, and being a teenager, and getting all the fractal patterns.
thought it was well cool and considered it for a second, but it was just that split second because I was just like, yep, I'm not setting the house on fire.
Microwaving soap is interesting.
I don't know if we ever did that.
It kind of it grows. It almost kind of bubbles out, and all of the air just gets pulled out of it, and it just kind of grows as this foamy sponge-like kind of crazy Katakumi type.
Now I want to do this. What have you done?
Makes your microwave stink.
Did-
Soap. Absolutely
people-
stink for weeks.
Isn't that because there's like animal fat in like soap?
It probably is. There's lots of whales in there.
Yeah.
There's probably some dolphins in there
Some
as
tallow
well.
and stuff like that.
I mean,
yeah.
What else did people used to microwave back in the day? Did people used to microwave
Meals.
those alien babies? Meals.
What?
Those weird alien babies.
Remember, you used to. Things.
Do people microwave those?
I don't know what you mean by
It might have just been
alien
it
babies.
might have just been a UK thing. maybe,
McCain's
I don't know.
chips. After school, it was always McCain's Hot Wings.
Oh yeah, the ones that
Or
were
like in a
the
little box. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pizza Pops. Hot
Oh
Pockets.
yeah. We didn't really have Hot Pockets. I think everything was very, very based around chips in the UK when we were kids.
Yeah, that's fair.
And nuggets.
Yeah.
When you say alien babies,
Uh,
what are you talking about?
this was the craze, Adele. I don't know if Ben, you were far too old. I never had them.
I mean, I've done this.
What an excellent way to
just
insult me.
Googling alien babies.
They were like rubbery.
They're a toy.
Yeah. And
Why
they
did you
were all the
microwave them?
craze. I can't remember if people did. I don't know if it's that what I was thinking
Oh,
of.
okay.
I
I remember the little foam
Goo
things you
aliens.
used to chuck in water and they would expand.
Goo aliens. Goo aliens.
Okay.
Goo alien.
Or alien birth pods. And they were meant to have babies. They were meant to like reproduce.
Fucking hell. I'm glad it didn't work and take off. Jesus.
It was all the
This-
craze one year in like 1990.
This
Just
is
this
gonna get us
small-
in some weird areas of YouTube on the
Yeah,
absolutely.
don't look at
You see
goo
this
aliens
small
on
goo
internet.
alien just
Great.
shits out a bunch of tiny small goo aliens. It's like,
It was one of those where people thought, oh yeah, they get if you go to Amazon, alien birth pods. Yeah, I thought it was stupid, but people actually thought, yeah, they can procreate or something.
So apparently it was just a massive rumor that they could have aliens.
oh,
What?
you're on like
They can have
Snopes or something.
babies, right? Okay. Does anyone remember Zoom beanies? I'm really down this tangent. Google Zoom beanies. Don't know if anyone.
I remember
Wait,
Beanie
what?
Babies. I don't know.
Zoom beanies. It was a educational PC game.
Oh.
Oh,
And-
there
I don't
were
remember that.
alien baby birth pods that could give birth, but not all of them could give birth.
Right.
There was a
It's
special
like Pokemon or something.
version which was also called the birth process, and you basically
That's what I was saying. Maybe I heard that people microwave them to see if that would work.
Right.
Maybe that's what I'm
That's how they
conflating them.
reproduced. Yeah.
Right.
Under
so what is
intense
this other thing I'm
radiation.
looking up?
Zoom beanies. ZOOMBINIS. They were free
There's
games.
scintillating.
Zumbinis.
Zoom beanies. I remember loving the first game.
I've never heard of that.
It's like
As I
a
said,
different planet, a
you-
planet full of alien babies.
Zoom beanies. It was at school.
Some kind of
Um,
millennial planet.
I just remember playing at school on the one computer that we had because kids are so spoiled these days. I remember playing Zoom beanies and enjoying that, and why was I going to say Dragon Quest? I've never played a Dragon Quest game. King's Quest 7 at school.
Really?
Mm.
We got to play things like Chips Challenge,
I don't remember that.
Pinball, that one demo.
Oh, the
level
one
of
pin.
pinball
Yeah,
just
yeah.
built into
The
stuff.
logical
Oh,
journey
Windows,
of
yeah.
minis.
And
Yeah, I really like that game.
what's it called?
They
Logo,
released for
where you're
Steam.
the little turtle on the BBC computers.
Logo
the
writer on the Apple
programming.
IIe.
Was that the
Logo writer.
programming one that's called programming?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Go to X.
basic program. Yeah, Zoom Beanies. Apparently
Oh.
they remade it and it's on Steam. So as soon as that's on sale, I'm going to buy that.
Yeah, it was
I need
remade in
education.
October 2015.
Mm.
It is only $6.99 of your quidlets.
But I'm waiting for that sale. To buy Zoom.
You want that
I
at like
can learn how to
100% off, don't you? Like,
So I can learn
wait
how
for it to come to
to.
Switch. You'll be fine.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
There's also a £3 version of it on the Amazon Android store.
God damn it. The one reason to have an Android phone and I've missed out now. Just throw my Apple.
It's a
iPhone
recreation
in
of the
bin.
classic award-winning 1990s puzzle game.
It was
12
good.
challenges with 4 levels of increasing difficulty.
Yeah, that
Ah,
game
yes.
lasted.
Zumbinis.
I really liked the pizza one. And the one where you had to like get on the bridge.
Guess what, Lucy?
Mhm.
It's $4.99 on the App Store.
Okay.
So you can save £2 by playing it on your phone
Wonderful.
or
I
your
think my
iPad.
phone will win it then. My phone's very
iPad
old.
game.
My phone's
anyway.
2015.
What
yeah.
was I? Oh yeah, so
You're
this was
talking about
all. Yeah, this was
PC.
all me of not talking about the
your
woes of the
CD
PC.
drive. Yeah, you don't need the CD in the CD drive.
So the thing that I was going to talk about instead of the PC, before all of the derailments, was that there's a rumor based on a LinkedIn posting of 2 game franchises becoming TV shows.
Okay.
Thanks to the, I assume, the success of The
Trying to
Witcher.
feign entrance. So,
It gets better. Because these are Diablo
Oh yeah, and Overwatch was
and Overwatch.
Oh, really?
because I
A
think
game-
Resident Evil was meant to be coming to Netflix, but is that
Yes.
confirmed at this point?
Yeah, I
think
believe
Resident
so.
Evil-
Yeah, I believe Resident Evil is coming to Netflix. Yeah.
But I thought
the Diablos. Are
Diablo
there
has a bit of a
characters?
box, I
Are
guess.
there like distinctive characters in Diablo?
In the newer games, yes.
But nothing on the level of like Overwatch.
Well, but it's sort of. You're kind of you pick a class. You're not really. You're not going through that kind of classic. Like D&D style of character creation where you pick a race, you pick a class, that affects yourself.
Yeah.
Basically, you pick Necromancer or Barbarian, and it is just a set character that you take through the world. I think that was Diablo 3 that was bought in for. So they do have an element to that. Obviously, Diablo has a very kind of set storyline. Overwatch, don't they already make little short
Yeah, I mean,
things for?
I guess, I mean, the cinematics they have are basically, this is the character.
What
porn?
they make? Yeah,
Yeah.
there's,
It's the top.
that's all I
search-
know
I
about
don't think
Overwatch,
Blizzard
to be honest.
I don't think Blizzard make it. Like,
Oh no. Well, they might. You never know. They might be moonlighting a few.
just the subsidiary of
Animators.
Activision Blizzard, like, just making all
I
this
would
Overwatch
love.
porn.
I would love like for a Kotaku scoop to be like, it's actually Blizzard making the Overwatch.
Oh yeah, it's like guerrilla advertising.
Yeah, and
I mean
it's
that
like,
because it's porn starring the gorilla character.
is he called Winston?
I wish I knew the name of him.
Yes.
That
I
joke.
think he's
would've been
called
better.
Winston.
Winston, yeah.
How do I know that? I have not watched the Overwatch one because
You've been
I
on
have no
Pornhub
interest
too much,
in.
Lucy. That's it.
Yeah, I just have no interest in Overwatch in any
I
medium. So
I watched the intro
Cowboy.
of the cowboy character. His friends of mine were really excited, and I was like, "That seems like a cool character." I'll watch this intro that everyone's talking about. And it's like, do they do this with everyone? And apparently, yeah, basically. So
I
do you
think
think
it's
they're just gonna sell,
interesting.
like they're gonna take those off of YouTube, and then you have to get Netflix to watch them?
Nah. That's just.
But like,
yeah.
I guess, what is the plan? I guess just that cinematic team works harder and has a vague plot.
They'll probably spin it out to another studio, surely.
Yeah.
I'd imagine neither of these are coming to the light of day for several years.
Oh yeah.
Whilst they work out actually what it is, more than just a slight thought that they could be TV shows that they can actually do with it.
Maybe that will tie in with like, because Overwatch is
Overwatch 2.
Yeah, because at this point Overwatch is what, 4 years old, so
Yeah.
you know they'll probably, you know, I'm sure interest would have not died off completely, but like waned compared to like.
You've got it. Yeah.
Years.
You've got to imagine their player base has dwindled quite significantly.
Yeah, but they've not had a good year of what they've released and the balance issues that have come out. And a lot of people not happy, apparently. That's the last thing. It was just... I know someone who streams Overwatch, and it was just like, yeah, people don't do it anymore as much. They don't
I guess it makes sense that they're still supporting it. I think it's a testament to those characters that I even know that stupid monkey's called Winston and that there's a hamster. Because it's like I haven't played any Overwatch. I haven't paid attention to Overwatch at all since whenever it came out.
Oh, don't lie! You got your new PC, so you could play
just to play like Overwatch. Absolutely
on the PC.
Yeah, but I think that's like I couldn't tell you any of the Apex characters. Only because like I watched our good friend MC Fixer play it the other day. Apparently, they're all named after place names like Mozambique and stuff.
Oh, really?
Well, not all of them. He said or something.
I think Mozambique
I could be completely wrong.
Is a shotgun.
Oh yeah, he said it was a weapon. Well, there you go. You see, I don't know anything about that world.
I think that's like the one thing I do know.
He said that Mozambique is a shotgun.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's like they've tried to chase that very much. We're going to turn this into a universe, this whole extended media, and have these characters be knowable. And I don't think Fortnite has knowable characters because you customize them all. I'm guessing.
Yes.
No,
but something like Fortnite, they sell toys of.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw toy and I was like, who is this? I
guess it's kind of the.
Is this based on Ninja's likeness? I don't know.
Outfit sets, or I don't know. Again, having not played it, I don't know what you can customize in that to get certain things. But yeah, like outfit sets, or maybe in-world characters. The fucking flying bus driver. But
isn't that the magical school bus?
That is.
Oh, you know what? The Magic School Bus is getting rebooted.
Really?
Ooh.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure there's a new one on. I mean, it might be several years off.
Sorry,
now.
when I say rebooted, I mean it's technically just a new series because there is a new teacher who is the niece of the old teacher, but also a very intelligent redhead who's kind of wacky.
So it's canon then. They've canonically tied it in.
So it's not
the
a
original.
reboot, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, who's her dad? This is the questions that we need to be asking.
I don't know.
Dr. Emmett Brown. Party! So, Diablo and Overwatch.
That was really good.
Speaking of flying vehicles, I watched Back to the Future.
Did you?
The other day, yeah. I love that film. It's still very good.
That is good. Yeah. I can see them. I can absolutely see them pulling this to TV shows. Diablo and Overwatch, both of them.
I don't. Maybe it's just because I haven't played Diablo in a long time and never played Overwatch. But all I know about these games is they're not narrative driven.
I thought Overwatch was kind of because of that whole rolled out thing, but I don't.
Yeah,
I don't know. Is it just those introductory cutscenes? I know they have like wider lore about them, but I don't know how that's rolled out.
But that seems kind of like a good selling point, because you can do what you want with it then, right? You can,
that's true.
You know, Diablo does have a narrative in terms of you know, hell coming to Earth and then going to different places, and it's centering around a town and all of these sorts of things. So there are narratives in those games. You know, something like Diablo 3 was kind of derided for a lot of its like loot systems and the marketplaces they brought in and those sorts of stuff, but they were kind of, Diablo was, yes, it's like a dungeon looter game, but it does have a narrative, maybe not quite as in depth as other of those isometric kind of RPGs like Baldur's Gate and stuff like that, but there is something in there as well for people to kind of like follow through. So there's absolutely an established world for kind of stories to be explored, I guess. And I mean, they're going to need some fantastic writers to actually make this successful.
Yeah, ever the businesswoman. I'm just thinking, how many more people are they going to pull into that franchise? Making a TV show, which is, especially if it's animated, very cost heavy. I imagine they might just be like, no, we're just going to do CG at this point. It'd be weird for Overwatch in that sense.
Oh, I mean,
but it's like
for Overwatch to switch.
Yeah, exactly. But it's like, how that's expensive, and that's many years, as you say, down the line probably. If this is just, you know, rumors at this point, like, how many more people are you going to bring in rather than, as you say, just release like a 2-minute short on YouTube, which probably captivates the audience that you want, which is young players who don't have Netflix, because that's probably an older demographic.
And they're going to monetize that shit on YouTube anyway, aren't they? So, yeah.
And grabbing all those teens and who watch YouTube and be like, you like that monkey and hamster?
I mean, you imagine it's more than likely going to like premiere on Twitch or something like that as well. Like, rather than keep it away from those bigger, you know, digital releasing kind of like studios like Netflix has become and stuff, or even like CBS, is it Access or whatever, that kind of digital side that they have to it and stuff like that. Rather than dealing with them, absolutely. Deal with the things that you know. Go with Twitch. Go with YouTube.
Oh, I don't
monetize it on those sites.
The idea is that they're trying to develop new areas.
Is it to keep people in that? Yeah, keep people in who are already there. Keep that in the ecosystem rather than entice new people. They're like, grow
the brand, have people interact with it when they're not playing the game.
Yeah, and think, oh crap, I need to play more Overwatch.
But also, then Activision Blizzard gets to say, look, we to their shareholders, look, we've branched out to new markets using our very valuable IP. Look how valuable it is. It's not just video game IP, it's also TV IP. So think of all the other IP we have. Now our share goes up.
Oh man, I would be like, in this new episode, Tracer's gonna wear this weird new skin, and it's like it's in the game the same day.
Oh, absolutely.
I wish I was.
I mean,
what's his name, Bobby Kotick, or who's CEO of Activision, just lining his pockets. I wish I was him. I'd be like, cha-ching, just dollar signs in my eyeballs.
But you've got to think they've looked a little bit at the success of like Castlevania on Netflix as well. Didn't seem, you know, it's not really one that was kind of like for me, but
there's no Castlevania out there anyway.
I mean, you're right. There's no Castlevania in terms of anything to capitalize on or to kind of build on it. Castlevania seems like an odd thing to push, but
I enjoyed it.
They released the series last year. They're super quick into releasing a third series this year. That is doing well enough for them to keep doing it and to keep licensing the name and continuing to produce this anime show.
I actually enjoyed it. For what it was, it's like I watched them all back to back in quick succession. Wasn't really that much of a time sink. I was like, you know, when Bloody Tears or whatever the name of that track is starts playing, I'm like, Dracula, Alucard. Yeah, it turns out when people actually like a IP, they'll watch or play any part of it.
Shit.
Yeah, for the most part. You know, I'm not going to buy that new Contra game, but I'd watch a Contra film starring Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I mean, it already exists, doesn't it? Like Commando is just fucking Contra, but
oh no, it wasn't Commando. It was... And he punches a crocodile. No, he does he punch a crocodile or does he just shoot it? And he says, "Your baggage."
Oh, we need more films. We need more stuff like that. We're not going to get that from these. We're going to get that from Diablo and Overwatch. There's no way these are going to be as kind of like as corny as that sort of stuff.
That's highbrow cinema. It's Cannes Film Festival material.
I think this is something we've talked about before, like shows that or games that we want to see, like as TV shows. I don't think Overwatch or Diablo would have ever come into my mind.
Well, that's sort of why I wanted to bring it up, because it's just Diablo is kind of the point is that it's not a real, like there's not the universe isn't that special.
Yeah.
And Overwatch seems like a very specific phenomena that has a lot of characterization, but not a lot of narrative. But maybe I'm wrong with that, because I don't know what they do with their seasons of progression.
No idea either. It's smart though. I think this whole it's expanded universe and different cross. What do they call it? Cross media franchise? I can't remember. Just cross media stuff. Yeah, it makes so much sense these days. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's always been happening. It's like how many terrible licensed video games did we get in the past? So.
Yeah,
it's always been
one
a thing.
terrible
It's just doing
TV shows.
Yeah, it's just doing it in the opposite direction these days. So.
Yeah.
Game to film rather than vice versa.
And it's again, you do always hear rumours about various games becoming TV shows, and even just requests on Twitter that suddenly turn into news articles where someone says, "Oh, it'd be great if we had a God of War TV show," and like Corey Barlog retweets it, and everyone goes, "Oh my God, there's going to be a God of War TV show!" And then,
I do not think that would be a good idea. Yeah, I don't care about games in other media at all, because games are very specific kind of interaction.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they're very unique in the way that they tell a story. And it can be, which is different to a novel, which is different to a movie, which is different to a TV show. You experience it in a very different kind of way.
Yeah. But people love seeing their favourite characters in different mediums.
I mean, yeah.
I'm the outlier.
Star Wars Episode 9, right?
Yeah, tons of people saw that stupid Sonic movie, so...
Oh,
at least 70 million
opening. I'm one of them.
What? You saw it?
No, I said I kind of want to.
Oh, I was like, how have you come on this podcast and you've seen it and you haven't even spoken
yeah, and
about
that wasn't my topic?
Yeah. I was like...
Let's finish there this week. Before we get into that, everyone's drunk some beers this week. Lucy, we start with you.
Yeah, my favourite is probably just the bizarreness and absurdity of it all. Is the here we go. The Knight in Sour Armour. It also has the best. Yeah, the first one. It also has the best name. It took you on a roller coaster and all those different disparate flavours that are somehow all come together and just make it one good tasting beer, despite how crazy it is. Yeah, the Mutiny on the Bunty, the coconut stout, was a very good beer. Anyway, I wouldn't really class it as a traditional stout or even something that has a lot of coconut in it. Even as I kept sipping on it, not really getting that coconut. Kind coconut is like, it's obviously not the most overpowering of flavors, but when I have something to compare it to, especially now, just thinking of the Burning Soul one since you've had it, I'd much rather that for something that has coconut in it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's the Knight in Sour Armor that wins today, but yeah, both good tasting and easy drinking beers.
Yeah.
Overall.
A good experiment, as you said, maybe a more experimental sort of beer, but something that's is solid, has landed really well.
Yeah. Oh, I just want to say that I had a Yonder beer today. I think it was called As the Crow Flies, which is a saison, very sour, but fully recommend because Yonder are doing cracking beers, and a mango lassi beer from Northern Monk. They used to do a pale ale of it. Now they're doing a double.
Yes.
Go find that beer because you'll drink so much of it and not even realise because it's very, very light. And another one that I had was Burnt Mill, which was a Creek IPA, which was weird. It was like a salty IPA, which was a bit weird, which I didn't really.
Very odd.
Yeah, wasn't the best, but yeah, those are some other beers I had today.
Yeah, nice.
I'm an alcoholic.
You're fine.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Adam,
I'd like to be one, but you know.
I really like both my beers. They're very different. So my choice has to be the Belgian one. No one's gonna be surprised.
Yeah.
It's just a fantastic beer. I noticed one thing. There's actually a bit of a. I said there was no citrus, but it's not true. There's a bit of a liminess that comes in. A little, a slight sort of tarty citrusness that comes in with the fruity part. But I think if you can track down this Utopian Yeasty Boys craft hoppy lager, it is very interesting and very refreshing. And again, like just so like when Lucy was saying on the weirdness, like having to go with this interesting thing, it was kind of like, yeah, if there wasn't just a really solid, well balanced Trappist beer in front of it, I think I would have tried to default to this one just because it's actually quite well balanced. It's clearly a lager. It does the lagery things, and then you get this really interesting hoppy finish, but still doesn't leave you. The finish is still sort of crisp and short, so it's not like it's. So if you like lagers, you're still gonna, and the way they sort of sit with you, you're still gonna like this, but you just have this extra taste journey that is sort of part of it, but very unique in a way that sort of gave me some dissonance because I just had never had such a hoppy lager before. So they're both really good beers, but the St Bernardus ABT 12 wins on basically being class B.
Yeah, it's hard to beat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll look out for Utopian in the future.
Yeah, so this has made me excited to see what else Utopian's done. I mean, I like Yeasty Boys.
Yeah, they're good. Yeah.
Nice. I'm going to go for the Burning Soul this week.
Hey.
Over the Deya Steady Rolling Mountains. Obviously, Steady Rolling Mountain is a solid beer. It's so good.
I think it's had its plaudits enough to not win this week.
Yeah. But the Burning Soul was a very, very pleasant beer, and it gave me a lot of flavour and did it really well. So you got a lot of that coconut, and it did allow a few of those kind of more malty notes to come in and to just affect it enough. They're like, oh, this is just the flavour has changed very slightly during my experience of this, and then allow that long, sweet, coconutty kind of tail towards the end. But you can see that they've tried to do something where you're getting this big, impactful kind of forward, sweet coconut kind of flavour that then leads to something else, but then just reminds you, hey, this is what we were trying to do with this will leave you with this as well. This can last for a long time, and it's very easy as well. I'm not the biggest fan of coconut flavorings. I do enjoy it in beers. I enjoy it in a few other things, but I'm not the kind of I'm not going to just go out and eat coconut. But
I like it.
It works very well in this way, and they balanced it so it works. And I'm very I think as well, being like a surprise beer and not having any kind of information on it, I think that's helped it this week with me being very pleasantly surprised with what I got, and enjoying it throughout as well. Both beers, the Deya and the Burning Soul, they retained the same level of flavour throughout. So neither of them kind of faded at all. Neither of them became rote. I didn't get accustomed to it too much and think towards the end of the beer like, I could have done with, a much smaller serving of this. Maybe says a little bit more for the Deya being in a 500 versus the Burning Soul in a 330. But I'd have very happily had another of the coconuts. Was it a coconut porter?
Yeah. When I was saying that it would probably be impossible for us to pick out which beer it was, I did have in the back of my mind, however, if it is that coconut porter, I know that one. It is, but it's part of, like, they brew that all year round, and it works as an all year round beer. It's like, I've had that in summer, I've had that in winter. It works. It's just a versatile beer, really. So
yeah, absolutely. I could definitely see myself towards the end of an evening. The sun is just going down. I've had a few beers during the day. You get to Burning Soul, and you have a coconut porter, and it would fit very, very well.
Yeah. So we'll go there this year.
Yeah, let's do that. So, listeners, next week is episode 200. You will hear something that we made.
Just
started on the weekend.
Once if we just did like modem as a whole episode, for at least the first 5 minutes.
So that is coming to you. That is coming to you next week. Lucy's visit to Bristol and our attempt at recording an episode. If you want to get hold of us and talk to us about the beers we drank, the games we've been playing, or your views on computer game TV shows and whether Diablo and Overwatch were a stupid idea, you can do so in lots of different ways at TankedUpCast on Twitter, over on Instagram as well. I'm at Nova_47. You can hit me up on Twitter and see some of the things that I've been playing in Dreams. Did a little video which is up on outoflives.net as well, or over on our YouTube. Yes. And you can do that. Adel is at the Omniarch. And you can chat to him about his PhD corrections. He doesn't care what your thoughts are on those.
They are done.
About it. Hooray!
If you have questions about the nature of logic, though, by all means ask.
I do every day.
And if you want to get goes well, I will leave you with more questions.
If you want to get involved in those questions on that Twitter exchange between Adel and Lucy, he is at the Omniarch. Lucy is at JuicyLoose9. She's also the only active untapped human.
Yeah, I'm getting back into it, so because I forgot what I drank last week, so this is why I need to note things down, and Untapped is probably the best and most streamlined way for me.
Yes, and it makes sense. So yes, go to outoflives.net, listen to the other podcasts, which is This Next Act, our back episodes as well. Obviously, go back and listen to what we were doing 100 episodes ago on episode 100.
I don't even know. Talking about.
No, I've got no idea.
Now I'm curious.
You were talking about The Witcher. Witcher
more than likely, to be fair. Go to YouTube and look at my video on Dreams. You'll see our beautiful faces, which come to you every week. But for another week, we have been tanked up. Bye-bye.
Enjoy your weekend. Switching it up there.
It was the top games of 2017. Was episode 100.
No.
Yeah.
Well, Horizon Zero Dawn.
Hellblade.
Anyway. Yeah.
Was Hellblade 2017?
Ciao, and instead
Yeah.
I said,
Little Nightmares.
instead I just brought stuff up.
Say ciao now.
Wolfenstein might have been that year.
Yeah.
Before I just keep listing games from 2017, just say.
Oh, and Nico had sent some cans over.
I'm going to the toilet, so you've got to end this.
Yeah, we're done. Goodbye. Ciao.
Bye.
He's waving.
www.outoflives.net